Guys, question 3 spreadsheet. The data collection regarding the packages and options are stored in the 3 options spreadsheet. Open the 3 options spreadsheet. There it's open. And it says delete the chart worksheet. So we're going to right click here and we're going to say delete and click on delete. Alright, once that's done, it says work in the sheet 1 worksheet. So here we go. We're in the sheet 1 worksheet. It says rename sheet 1 to packages. So I'm going to double click on sheet 1 and I'm going to say packages. Alright, now once I've done that, it says angle the heading in row 5 counterclockwise. So here are the headings in row 5. So we're going to go to the alignment and we need to first realize or know what counterclockwise is. Now clockwise is the direction that the hands will move in a clock, and as you can see, if this text, this line here, was one of the hands in the clock, it would be moving down in this direction as the time progresses through the day. But that is clockwise. They want counterclockwise, so it's in the opposite direction. So from here we're going to move it up in the opposite direction, that is counterclockwise, and click on OK. Now it says apply a spreadsheet picture to column D to change the border color of all the Netflix packages to any color of your choice. So what we're going to do is select the range. Now the feature we're going to be using is conditional formatting. Highlight rule, and we're going to say text that contains. Now over here we're going to remove the 2 because I want to select everything that that says Netflix. So we're going to say Netflix, and you'll see the Netflix with the 1, the 2, as well as the 3 is selected. Then over here I'm going to click on the arrow, say custom format, and there by border I'm going to pick a color. Let's go with something that will stand out, and outline, and say OK. OK, and there you can see all the borders that have been changed to yellow are the Netflix. Now it says format column F to appear as a currency with 2 decimals. So we're going to go to column F. And here inside column F, we're going to go to the currency tab. And there you'll see it's got the 2 decimals. Insert a function in cell F7 to determine the amount payable for the package in column D. So over here, we're going to insert an amount depending on what the package is in column D. So it says Netflix 1, so what should it be? We don't know yet, but the question does say use the information in the options worksheet. So if we go and look at the options worksheet, we'll see here that it says package, here are the names of the packages, and when you find the option you're looking for, here it's Netflix 1, the amount should be 99 Rand. So let's have a look at this. The options we're looking for are running vertically, so this is going to be a vertical lookup, a VLOOKUP. So when we go here to packages, we click on the cell and we start by typing in equals VLOOKUP, and we open up our bracket. The lookup value will be this value here, Netflix 1, semicolon. Remember, your computer can just be a comma. And then the table array is where I'm going to find the values. So I'm going to go to my options. You will see it adds that into my formula. I'm then going to select the range and make sure I push on F4 to make sure that this range is absolute. So when I copy the formula down, it will not move. The question says ensure that this function will work properly if copied down. So we need to do this. Alright, carrying on now. We're going to put our semicolon and move on to the next parameter. And now it says here column index number. Now that is the number of the column where the value is. Now if we look here, this is column 1, column 2, and this is column 3. So the value is in column 3, so I'm going to type in a 3. Then next parameter over here says false exact match. That is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to double click on there and then push enter. And there's my answer. Alright, next it says use a formula in cell G6 to display the names of the shows with the lowest price. Okay, so what we need the computer to first do is find out what the lowest price is. We can do this in a building block, or we can do it all in one formula. So I'm going to show you both. First of all, let's use the building block. So I'm going to say equals, and to find the lowest price, I need to use the function called min. So there we go. I'm then going to select the range, and by pushing enter, it closes the function, and there it is, 49. Now the problem here is when I use this inside this cell and I copy this cell down, what's going to happen is it's going to move on to the next cell. So I need to make this absolute within this formula. So what we're going to do here is say equals, if, open up my brackets, the logic test, I'm looking to see if this cell is equal to that cell. But now remember, this cell needs to be absolute, so I push F4, then my semicolon. In your case, it could be a comma, and then the value if true. So if the value is true, I'm going to want it to show the show name. And then if the value is not true, I just want it to stay blank. Push enter, and you'll see there, that one stays blank. When I copy it down, you will see there are 3 shows at 49 Rand. Okay, so that was the one way of doing it, and because I copied it down, I need to make sure that that cell was always going to be used. So that's why I need to make sure that there was an absolute cell reference. Let us delete this now, and we are going to delete this. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do it without the building block. We're going to start off by saying equals, if, open the bracket, then I'm going to put in my min, open the bracket, and select the range where the amounts are. And over here, the same thing applies. Now, when I copy this down, I don't want this range to change, so I need to say F4, close my bracket, equals this cell over here. And if that is true, if they are equal, I want it to say the show name. And if they're not equal, I want it just to leave it blank. As you can see, the first cell remains blank. And as I copy this down now, we should have the exact same answers as before. Flash, Grey's Anatomy, Murphy Brown. There we go. Insert a function in cell J7 to determine how many movies belong to the comedy genre. So over here, we're going to see how many movies are genre. Now, you'd think at first this is quite easy to do because it says genre and there's comedy, and we can just count all the comedies. So we're going to use the count if, but there's a problem. Here we've got more than one category. We've got movies, we've got series. Now, there could be a series that is a comedy. So we need to make sure, for example, this one here, series, comedy. If we just use a count if, it will count these two here, and it shouldn't. It only needs to count the comedy by the movie. So there are 2 sets of criteria we need to use. So we are going to do a count ifs. So we're going to start off by saying equals, count ifs, and we're going to open up our bracket. And over here it says criteria range 1. So let's first go to our comedy in our genre, and we are going to select that range. We are then going to put in our semicolon, and the criteria I'm looking for here is going to be comedy. Okay, then another semicolon moves on to the next criteria range. So over here I'm going to select the range where it says category. And remember, this criteria we're looking for only the movie. So once I've done that, I'm going to put my semicolon, quotation marks, movie, and quotation marks to end that. There is no other criteria that I need, so I don't have to move on to the next criteria. I can just close the bracket and enter, and there we go. There's 8 comedies that are movies. The trial version of a package is only 3 months. So what that means is they'll let you use it for 3 months for free. You don't pay anything, and you'll start paying then at the end of those 3 months. So they want you to correct the function in cell J9 to determine the date on which the trial version will end if the starting date is the current date. So today, now, as I'm filming this video, this date should appear here. And then I need to add the 3 months to see 3 months going forward when the trial will end. But if I look at this right now, it's got last year's date this day. So the problem here is that this formula isn't using a function to pull out this year. The year's been typed in, as you can see there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the number. We're going to type in the function year, open up a bracket, and then the function for today, so that it pulls on today's year, and then I'm going to close the bracket for year. Now, by doing that and pushing enter, you should see that now today's date is displayed in the box, and it looks exactly like the date here at the bottom of the computer. Why does it look like this? Well, the year function pulls out the year of today's date, which is 2020. The month pulls out the month of today's date, which is 03, and the day pulls out today's day, which is the 10th. Now what we're going to do here is we need to add 3 months. Now if we add the 3 at the end here, what we're doing is we're adding it to 3 days, so it would make it 13. So if it was only 3 days long, that's where we add it. If it was 3 years long, we would add it over here. But they're saying 3 months, so we come to the month section, and we're going to say plus and 3. By doing that, when you push enter, you will see the month over here changes to a 6. That's 3 more months than what we're currently in. So we're in 03, there goes to 06. Alright, so the trial will end 2020-06-10 if I were to do it today. Alright guys, that was the question 3, a total of 30 marks. Remember to save and close your spreadsheet. Well done.